Change often scares people, but in trading, the ability to change your mind can be the difference between success and failure, as you're about to find out. That's because in this video, I'm going to show you how a professional day trader uses order flow information to change his or her mind based on actual market feedback. And that means no silly indicators or random retail lines in sight. So if you're ready to start taking your trading seriously, let's get into it. Okay everyone, so here we are with the live market. As you can see, my live account. It's a trade I actually took on my account today. So you're going to see that as I took it in real time. But before I do that, what I want to do is, let's just pause the market here. Let's not forget the kind of theme of today is all about change, right? And the thing is, I want to talk about change differently to what you might be used to kind of seeing on your charts. I want to talk about facts and figures. Why is it so important we look at raw data, facts and figures, rather than just random lines, basically? No easier way of saying it on our charts. Because think about it. Let's say you were to run a business. Okay, your business could be trading, it could be clothes, it could be shoes, it could be anything, right? It could be selling food. The point is, why would you change what you're doing, right? If you're in business and you're selling, I don't know, t-shirts, right? Very bad drawing of t-shirts, that is, believe it or not, a t-shirt. I'm sure no one would buy it, but it is a t-shirt. Let's say you're selling t-shirts, right? And no one is buying them. So that's going to be apparent to you what? In the facts and figures of your sales, right? So can you see why professional traders, they're not interested in all that random garbage on charts that most of us see, or you might be used to seeing? They're interested in facts and figures, okay? And it's facts and figures I used to not only take a trade, but to change my mind, okay? And I'm going to show you that because it's always best, you know, if you're going to be looking at things to look at things from a factual perspective, right? I'm sure you agree with me. So let's not waste any more time. Let's hit play on the market. I'm going to fast forward in just a second to where I took my first trade. And you're going to see I actually changed my mind based on facts and figures, right? So the market is in this kind of a range, right? And I actually have a short bias. I want to sell the market, but I don't want to chase it. So I'm waiting for it to get back up to here. And then I'm just going to sell it. I'm not going to get into the context. I obviously want to really hammer this point home about using facts and figures to sell the market. You're probably sick of me saying that word, facts and figures, but as you're going to see, there really is proofs in the pudding, right? Now the context is bank news has obviously been very negative recently. There's a whole bunch of reasons that I have a bearish bias, but I don't want to bring that into the mix because I really want to focus on how professional traders are using, you know, actual analytical skill set to change their mind, which anyone can do. All right. So, and you decide for yourself when I show you. So I'm waiting for the market here just to pop up into this region. Like I said, I just want it to pop up and then I'm going to take the turn there. Let me just fast forward this slightly so we can get to my entry. Okay, good. There you go. Can you see the market just popping up into that region? And I'm going to get short, I think, any moment now, which you're going to see. And I'll talk you through it. There you go. The short's been taken. And what I want you to do is let's just watch together the kind of people talk about price action, right? I'm not really too fussed about that at this moment in time. I'm interested more in the facts and figures, the data. What is the market actually doing, right? Which you can see here. How are the buyers interacting? So as I noticed straight away, look here, the market starts to get quite zippy to the upside. So when I say zippy, I mean velocity. So you'll see the buyers are actually having more joy, you would say, in terms of getting the price to move in their favor and actually printing a decent number of contracts. So you can see that here already. A lot of buying coming in on the wrong side. All right, so I obviously don't want to see that when I'm wanting the market to turn around. And a very sensitive area up here, obviously. I really don't want to see this. So there, can you see the market's just happily going up and quite fast, rapidly as well, away from me. So I'm already starting to get nervous. And that is based on facts and figures that are coming in. All right, real buying is coming in. I'm starting to get a little bit nervous. Okay, I noticed something else, all right? Any selling that came through, there you go. You see that 77 contracts there, and there was, I think, the 44 as well. It's not having any impact to the downside. So let's just pause again here and just consolidate, right? Because there's a lot going on. Obviously, with practice, you'll be able to read this like the back of your hand. Number one, kind of buying velocity or speed velocity or speed is more in favor of the buyers, right? So buying's coming in and we're just zipping up quite easily, and we're getting very close to that sort of area and moving away from my entry. So obviously I'm naturally getting a little bit nervous, but that's not enough for me to change my mind. Number two is, if selling comes in, I don't mind if the buyers do get a little bit zippy, because they're not kind of getting paid for that, right? The sellers are coming in and fighting them kind of equally. I'm kind of happy. The problem is we're not seeing that. Firstly, there's a real lack of selling, but also any selling that does come through in size. So we're talking like, I think there was 77. So contracts coming in. No kind of movement in price, right? If you're selling it and the price isn't going down, obviously you're going to probably not stick around for long, all right? So that selling just isn't really getting any traction either. So this is where I thought to myself, all right, maybe the market is going to actually go the other way. My point is don't worry too much about the actual analysis of what I'm saying, as in the reasoning. Just think about, what am I actually using to change my mind? Am I using, some sort of line down here, some trend line or something, which I don't use, by the way, because I've never really seen that being used by professional traders where I was working. It's more based on facts and figures, right? Like I said, if you're running a business, you're selling clothes or something, you're not going to look at the trend line of, clothes prices and then suddenly change your mind, right? It's completely ludicrous. You're going to look at facts and figures. You're going to look at, obviously, your selling numbers, your buying numbers. Does everything look all right? No, it doesn't. Okay, I need to make a business decision to change my mind. That's all right? Don't worry too much about the analysis right now. The point is, something is changing, right? Behavior is changing in this area, very sensitive area up here. Behavioral change, very close to my entry, and I'm on the wrong side. I won't get into the point of control because we're also on the wrong side of the point of control. I'll leave that for another video, but very, very sensitive area where I don't want to be hanging around long if I don't see what I want to see. So I end up changing my mind, which you're going to see in just a second. So again, the point is, you've got to act on it. You've got to be able to act on this information as it's coming through. You can see it's just doesn't really give up the sort of buying that's coming in. So there you go. I've taken a small hit on the sell and I've switched to a buy, all right? So I'm actually down about $150 on the day now, which is fine. Obviously losing money is part and parcel of trying to win. It all goes hand in hand. So I've actually changed my position here, and probably a lot of people will kind of set up the same way I was, so kind of seeing the same things I was, and then you'll really start to see a lot of buyers just pile in, and a lot of that will be short exiting. People who had the same idea as me, realizing it's not going to work, and we end up going the other way. All right, so we're going to see that here. I've still got a short bias, bear that in mind. All right, so here you can see the exits. All right, now just watch. I've got break-even entry. All right, so that's around about here. So I got taken out on this trade. But just look at something. Again, I'm using data to see if behavior has changed. Do you see the selling that has come in is suddenly, we're talking what? I mean, I don't have a specific number without adding it up, but we're talking multiple times stronger than the buying. You see the behavior has now changed and flipped to the other side. All right. And this is where I now start to get short, as you're going to see. So my point is, I used the information that was coming in the first time I wanted to get short. It wasn't what I wanted to see, so I used it to change my mind. Eventually, can you see that? You can see it for yourself. We saw the sort of selling behavior we might want to see, all right? And therefore, I changed my mind and actually ended up getting short. And I'm not going to play it out. I'll just quickly show you what happened, basically, that the market did start to really fall off. which suggests that initial move up was probably nothing more than some sort of stop run. Just wait for this to play out. There you go, just took off the final trade right there. Okay, so hopefully that was useful for you to see. I think I made my point, but again, let me just reiterate, don't worry too much about, this type of things that I was pointing out and, oh my God, how am I going to be able to spot that change in behavior? It looks like there's a lot going on, because all of that will come, all right? Rome wasn't built in a day. You never went to work the first day and absolutely started to smash it out the park. It always takes a little bit of time, and then it becomes easy, right? So obviously when you see it many multiple times, it does become easier. My point that I want to make is, look at what I'm actually using to make a change in trading decision. I'm using, raw data, volume that's coming in, that's causing me to change my mind, which is what every business is doing out there. All right. So if you're not doing this, obviously ask yourself, is what you're doing logical? Probably not, right? I'll obviously leave that thought with you. Now, if you find that useful, check out this video here for more amazing order flow trading insights.